Employees in all organizations fall into one of two categories. One category is the employee who merely shows up in exchange for a paycheck. Sure, they'll do good work for you, but their primary motivation is about paying their bills. And if they can find more money elsewhere, they'll be gone in a flash. The second category is the employee who is inspired by the work they do and are committed to the goals of the organization. They're motivated by contributing to something larger than themselves. Sure, they need a paycheck to put a roof over their heads and feed their families, but that's secondary to the high-level sense of accomplishment and contribution to a higher purpose they get from the work they do. Do you want more Category 2 employees in your organization? Do you want more employees who are inspired by the work they do and what they're contributing to the organization? I can help you do that. Hi, I'm Bob Wolverton. I'm the founder and CEO of Top Tier Leadership Training. We specialize in providing executive-level leadership training to leaders of any and all organizations. When we come back after this short break, I'll introduce you to these two categories of employees and give you some insight on how my company can help you get your employees motivated by something more than a paycheck. So stick around. Today I want to share an old story with you about the importance of having an aspirational vision statement. There are many versions out there in the universe of this story that I'm about to share with you, so I've taken the best pieces from many different versions and blended them together to make the message more succinct and meaningful for you. So picture yourself as a traveler in the European countryside in the late 1700s. It's a hot summer day in August. The sun is shining bright and the beautiful blue sky is dotted with white puffy clouds. You're out for a walk on this beautiful afternoon, taking in the beauty of the countryside. During this beautiful afternoon stroll, you come across two stonemasons who are hard at work. You notice the large stones that they're chipping away at with a hammer and a chisel to shape them for their final resting place in some sort of wall or structure. You're not even sure what it's going to be yet, but there's no doubt in your mind these two men are doing hard manual labor. The work these two men are doing seems like grueling work, yet perhaps a little artistic too. So you walk up to the first stonemason and ask, "Do you like your job?" He looks up at you and replies, "You know, I've been building this wall for as long as I can remember. The work's monotonous. I work in the scorching hot sun all day long, and these stones are heavy and lifting them day after day can be backbreaking. And I'm not even sure if this job will be done in my lifetime. But you know, it's a job and it pays the bills." You thank him for his time and you walk on. About 30 feet away, you walk up to the second stonemason and you ask him the same thing. "Do you like your job?" The man stops his work. He looks up at you. You can see the sun glisten in the sweat as it drips off his brow. He puts down his hammer and chisel. As he stands up to look you in the eye, he pulls a rag out of his pocket and wipes his brow dry and says with great enthusiasm, "I love my job. I'm building a cathedral. Sure, I've been working on this wall for as long as I can remember, and yes, the work is sometimes monotonous, and I do work in the scorching hot sun all day long, and these stones, they're heavy, and lifting them day after day can be so backbreaking, and I'm not even sure if this project will be done in my lifetime. But I'm building a cathedral that will be here for hundreds of years, perhaps thousands of years, and used by many as a place of worship long, long after I'm gone." Now here we have an example of two men doing the exact same work, but one is showing up to merely collect a paycheck, but the other man is showing up because he believes in and is committed to the vision of what he's building. So where did that vision come from? The second stonemason gives us a clue as he says, "You know, I've traveled many, many miles to be part of this team that is constructing this magnificent cathedral, and I've spent many months away from my family, and I can't tell you how much I miss them. However, I know how important this cathedral will be one day, and I know how many people will find sanctuary and solace here. And I know this because the bishop told me his vision for this great place. He described how people will come here from all parts of Europe to worship here. He also told me that the cathedral will likely not be completed in my lifetime, but that the future depends on the hard work we do today." In this story, the vision came from the bishop. It came from the faith leader. Where does the vision come from in your organization? The vision is supposed to come from the strategic apex of your organizational pyramid. The initial vision has to start at the top. However, defining, refining, and sharpening the focus of the vision involves people from all levels of the organization. It's that widespread involvement of employees to help create the vision that results in commitment to and understanding of the vision. But the foundation of the vision always must start at the top of the organization. That is why my company focuses on executive level leadership training. Now let me share with you another story that comes from Greek mythology about work that is not connected to a greater cause. It's the story of King Sisyphus. Now King Sisyphus was a cruel king, and because he was so cruel to his people, the Greek gods decided he needed to be punished. And the punishment they bestowed on Sisyphus was the task of pushing a giant boulder up a hill all the way to the hilltop. And it would take Sisyphus all day to push this large boulder to the top of the hill. And once he spent the entire day straining, sweating, pushing, grunting, and using all the strength he could muster to get this boulder to the hilltop, by the end of the day, it would roll back down to the bottom of the hill, where Sisyphus would repeat this ritual for eternity. This was a task with no purpose, a grueling task that was the same thing day in and day out. A task where you'd rather be dead than subjected to this type of punishment. Are there employees in your organization who have a mundane task where they're only showing up for the paycheck? And absent the paycheck, they'd rather be dead than subjected to this mundane work? Could this be because your organization does not have a meaningful vision statement? Or could it be because those workers don't see the connection between their job or their task and how it connects to accomplishing the vision? Well, let me share with you a different story illustrating how employees at all levels of an organization can be committed to the goals of the organization regardless of their specific task. There's a story about President Kennedy visiting the NASA Space Center in Florida during the 1960s. The story goes that President Kennedy walked up to one man who obviously worked at NASA and asked the man, "What do you do here?" The man proudly stood erect with his chest held high as he responded to the President of the United States, and he said, "Sir, I help put a man on the moon." The man who gave that proud reply, his job title at NASA was janitor. But as a janitor, he understood the connection between his task and vision accomplishment. He knew if he didn't take care of his piece of the puzzle, his little piece of the NASA machine of maintaining the facility, that his failure could impede the progress of putting a man on the moon. He knew although his function was different, as part of the NASA machine, it was just as important as the man who pushes the launch button or the men and women who sit at the pointy end of the rocket. A business organization is like the inner workings of a clock. There are many wheels, cogs, and springs all doing distinctly different roles towards mission accomplishment, which is to display the time of day. But if any one of those wheels, cogs, or springs fails to do its job, the whole machine comes to a grinding halt. And your organization is the same way. While it may not come to a grinding halt, if one wheel, cog, or spring isn't doing its job properly, your organization will not run as effectively or efficiently as it could. That's where my company can help. We provide training in executive level leadership where the vision starts at the top of the strategic apex of your organization, and we provide training on how to ensure everyone in the organization knows the vision and is committed to their role in vision accomplishment. And what this means to you is, this connection will breathe new life into your organization, and your employees will be more committed than ever. Your employees will be like the second stonemason and inspired by your new vision. And when they understand their role in making the vision come true and what steps they are accountable for achieving, they will be more motivated and committed to accomplishing the vision, just like the second stonemason and just like the janitor at NASA. And here's the good news. If you're not the CEO, and if your CEO is not on board to make these types of changes in your organization, in our training, I give you two options of what you can do in your current position to make your organization better. If you'd like to explore what my company can do for you and your organization, give me a call. I'm Bob Wolverton. I'm the founder and CEO of Top Tier Leadership Training. We specialize in teaching executive level leadership so organizations of all sizes can achieve phenomenal success. Call me, send me an email, or visit our website, toptierleadershiptraining.com, and let's have a discussion to find out if our executive leadership program is right for your organization.